Oh, okay, I'm recording. Hey, do you want to make retro music? You know, like the old Zelda games. Do you want to make funky tunes that blow people's minds? That's retro? Well, I I got the thing for you. I got the thing for you. The Zelda retro 8-bit sounding dumb music hacks, and I'll teach you how I went from this to this to eventually this to eventually this. Alright, so, oh, and I also, let's just show this one if you want to, like, do stuff like this. You can also do stuff like this. Is it started? What? Okay, that was not intentional. Oh crap, it's so low. But you can also make things like that. Whatever. Let's just get to moving. As you can see, I literally just made this. Whatever. Who cares? Let's just act like I can save things and start here. Oh. Okay. So, if you're wanting to learn how to make like a retro style like music thing for like a game or whatever that you're making, or maybe you just want to get into it for the heck of it, I recommend downloading FL Studio. So let's just FL Studio. This is FL Studio. It looks like this. It's this pepper. You can get it for free. It's perfectly free. Just go down and look up FL Studio and download it, and it's perfectly fine. Now, there is one caveat. You're not going to be able to save the videos and music that you record. Well, if you think about it, I can click here and I can save it, but I won't be able to reload it unless I have the paid version. And the minimum least expensive paid version is the fruity version, which is like $99. So keep that in mind if you're ever considering like actually buying something like this. Now, what you're going to do is once you open it, there's these top things at the little top of the thingy, you know what I'm talking about. You can see where my mouse is. So right here, this is and the cool thing right here, it tells you whatever you're touching. See, it says hint panel. So it's this view piano thing. So if I closed this and clicked on it, it opened it again. And if I wanted the view channel rack, what? If I wanted the mixer, I'd pull this up. This is just what affects like these things, and I'll go into these in a second. So let's close these things and then open the piano. Now, I don't remember what it's going to start off at, but what I do is I scroll down in these little things right over here. I'm on the all thing. I scroll down to the packs, instruments, and then I go for the keyboard and I go for the electric piano. And as you can see, I have it imported in here. And what you're going to do is I can just show you real quick. So you kind of just drag it in there. I don't need to because I've already done it. But once you do, it's going to open. Oh, what the heck? Well, I screwed this up somewhat. It doesn't matter though. Wait, is it? Whatever. You don't need to see this. Anyway, right down here is what you need to know. There's like the FX stuff. Turn room. It'll be set to something by default. Turn it off and then turn decay off, and it'll get you this nice like. Let me play. It'll get you these noises. If you're wondering how I'm doing that, I have this turned on, and it's basically typing keyboard to piano keyboard. So if I like hit Z, it records that, and if I hit slash, anyway, whatever. And if you want, you can hit the record button and record yourself doing these things, but it's like weird and annoying. Anyway, but basically I'm going to teach you a little bit of how to design your own little song and retro thing, or how I go about it in this little program. So as you can see that I have like a song already made. Now I typically work in this range, this note range, but you can go down and go here. But since this has the feature right here where you can draw, I just kind of click all over the place and just play it and see what I think about the sound. So actually, let's turn on the mixer real quick. Click up here for the mixer, and I'm going to turn the sound up. Yeah, and then turn that one. There it goes. That way we can just hear some. And now just play it now that you've got your little shape going out. See, I kind of like a little bit of this, so I'm just going to get rid of this. And see, these little notes right here, each one of them represents... Oh, yeah, by the way, clicking with your middle mouse button and like moving up and down stretches the notes out, so it makes it easier. And you can also hit Control and zoom in. Actually, hitting the middle mouse button just moves it around. Hitting Control in the middle mouse button stretches it out. Anyway, but yeah. So you see these little right here, they each represent a note, so you can see how frequently they're hitting. So what you can do with that is decide a tempo, and you don't really need to know what a tempo is. Just make sure you're spacing things out evenly. See, you can see on these that they go that distance, and then there's that distance, and then it goes back to that distance, and that distance. So on this, let's say I don't want them like super together, but I'll make it like about that much. So let's just put it like an even amount together. And say I want that one out further. Okay, let's play it now. That sounds a lot better than what we had before. And if you hit Control Shift, Control C, Control V, boom. Then space them out just the amount they were before. Now let's play this. And now we got a little tune. And maybe let's space it out some. So if you Control Shift again, drag it all, you can drag here and space it out a little bit. So let's hear that. What if I stretched this one out to be the length of 2 full ones? So it was about like there. Let's stretch that out to there. Let's hear that. All right, that's cool. Now why don't we get some high notes in there? Okay. Now let's move another one. All right, so this is kind of like some spooky sounding stuff. Maybe, I don't know. But as you can see, like, just messing around with it a little bit, getting, like, consistent distances and stuff, it makes it sound pretty nice. So, maybe let's put a high note in the middle of this. What does that sound like? I don't know if I like that. Maybe put it here. Let's see what that sounds like. I don't know. I think I like it just being spaced out a little bit. Or maybe we can put a hi-hat on it that match together. See, oftentimes putting notes together that hit at the same time sounds really good because they kind of harmonize together. So let's see what that sounds like. Maybe move it down one. No, I'm not a big fan of it. I think I'm gonna keep it solo. I think I'm chill with that. Now, I'm gonna mess around with this a little bit, and then I think I'm gonna come back and tell you what I've done. All right, so I think I have somewhat of some progress. So I think we left off at about. I think that's where we left off, and I was like, I really want some like high notes to that. Like I don't know, I feel like it needs like some high contrast to it. So I added these little like staircases downwards, and then I was like, the patterns, like the pattern down here seems to get pretty uniform. If you ignore that line right there, it's just like completely the same pattern over and over and over again. So I added a dot right there, and then that led to me doing some more stuff. So just give it a listen, I guess, and see what I did. So basically did the staircase, did another staircase. I was like, maybe I should do a double hitting note like right here a little bit. Not like a double hitting note, but the same note. And then go up again, and then like a long note. Maybe that'll be good. But now I just copy and paste it. So here, let me show you how to do that. Control Shift, Control C, Control V. There you go. And then, one thing I always mess around with when I first copy it is to hear what this sounds like. Very nice, very nice. Always appreciated. And then let's see. It's about like a. There we go. Let's see what it sounds like when it loops. All right, that sounds pretty good, I think, for a loop. So if you want to like see how it is looped, I think it's, what is it, Control? Yeah, it's Control, and then you just drag it. So let's see what this sounds like on a loop. Because when you Control and Shift, or Control and click on this timeline, it's right click. Left click is like zoom in, and zoom in is weird, and you should never do it. So just Control Shift, or just Control. I guess Control Shift also works, or no, the Control Shift just shifts it. Makes sense. Alright, let's give it a listen on repeat. Alright, so I don't think it like fully copied properly, but like whatever, it doesn't matter too much anyway. So let's just Control C, Control V, and I'm gonna try and add some high notes to this. Just kind of copy it onto a higher level. Let's get it like about a space. Zoom in, make sure I got this all lined up perfectly. Okay, let's hear it with the high notes. I don't like that. um, let's see. Maybe I mean sometimes with notes you just have to move it higher, which seems like you should. It like that sounds like oh maybe it's too high or whatever, but sometimes it just takes moving it a note and it syncs up right. Maybe two notes. No, I don't. I just don't think it sounds good like that. I mean, sometimes it can really help. Other times it just. Why does it look like a face? Hmm. Anyway, but that's kind of how you do it. You kind of just, as you can see, this one's a lot rougher than this one. This one's a lot more like very, very organized, and of course, I just kind of messed around on this one. But like, literally, you can do anything you want in here and make a song out of it somehow. Like, what's this one? Yeah, it's this one. This, I know you probably can't tell, but I wrote something inappropriate in the software and then cleaned it up and made it into like a tiny beat. So like, I don't know, you can literally just do whatever. It's very fun. Often the problem is I accidentally make it way too like long. Oh god, that's ear grating. But hey, that's typically how it goes. Ah, but yeah, that's typically how it goes. I mean, you can draw things in here that kind of looks vaguely inappropriate and also like someone staring at me at the same time. But yeah, I like to sometimes like spell things out. So like, you can spell out a word or whatever you want, and maybe it'll come out sounding good. I mean, you never know. And honestly, I think it's just good to give it a shot. Like, that's amazing. And what if I, like, add some sparkle to it? That's typically a thing. Sparkles make things sound better. And I know I'm joking at the same time, but also, like, listen to this bit. Like, you can definitely get something out of that. Like, just shift that around. Maybe start here. Control C, Control V. Copy it again. Just boom. And then, like, I don't know. Another thing. Maybe half the short. Something like that. And like, you know, I think it comes out okay in the end. And then you can take that and you can get something out of it. That's the main thing that I think you should take from this video is you can do whatever you want in this software. You can mess around and then you can like fine tune it later. You don't have to like sit down and be super serious about it, cuz like when I first wrote this one, this probably took me like 15 minutes to do, or 10 minutes or so. And it wasn't even that good. And then later, I spent the same amount of time on this one. And it turned out far better, and I even had like an ending to it as well. And this was something that I was like, dang, I would like to play that on the piano. Like, I want to get a piano so I can play that. I want to play what I just wrote. And it's like, I literally, to start that out, I just like made a shape and then played it. Found something I like from it, and then I shaped it up. And I didn't take it as seriously, and I also realized the pacing. The pacing was one of the number one things you need to realize. This little thing that tells you your pacing is the most important thing about the entire song. I mean, it may be out of tune slightly, it may be a little bit all over the place, but if it has a consistent pattern, it is going to still turn out somewhat okay. And you need to add in some variability too, because like if it's just the same thing over and over again, it gets a little bit boring, and you want people to not really notice it's a loop or not an exact loop. Like in this, here, listen to that. See, this, every time you see a dot up here, it's this first part copied again. And I just added that, where is it? Yeah, this note. Or not this one. This note. This note is a single note that I added, and let's remove it. That's what it was before, and then I added this tiny note. And then it changed the whole feeling of it. And then I added another tiny note. What, it's like right here. Yeah, this one tiny note. Oh crap, I did not mean to. Oh wait, no, it's not that note. I'm an idiot. This one tiny note, if you hear it, it has that thing, and then remove it. And it adds like this kind of thing, this whole thing to it. And it's not necessarily the same as the one that I put over here, because this one's deeper. And then the other one that I put over like right here, yeah, the one that I put right here, it's also on a different note level. So it changes the feeling of it each time you put a note there. So I think if you were going to mess around in here, just mess around in here. Like literally just mess around in it. You'll figure something out, like draw an owl, for God's sake. You can do whatever you want in here. Draw a frog. He says ribbit. He loves you. He loves you. But yeah, you can figure it out, and like genuinely, it's a lot of fun. And some of the stuff that you make you can use. Like an example, this is the current game that I'm working on. I think I might have showcased it some, but it's a remake of the last game that I made. And it has my music in it. And I think that's really cool that I have my own music in something that like it feels really cool to own the music to something and be the one to own that copyright, because a lot of time music's a very copyrighted thing. So when I'm able to like be like, oh yeah, don't worry, I have some music I can put in the background because I literally made it myself, that feels really cool to me. And I hope you enjoy the video and you take something from it. But yeah, just mess around, figure something, make sure that it hits consistently. That's a really big thing. And As long as you're having fun, who cares? And mess around with the instruments too, because what the strings? Wait, no, I don't want the strings. I want the the string section. Yeah. Okay. Listen to this. Isn't that so cool? That's like some Dark Souls stuff right there. Just like, and if you have like the thing up here selected where it's like typing keyboard piano, you can still use it. This is the only one that I'd keep the room effect and the decay effect on, and because like it just sounds so cool. But like mess around with the instruments. If you don't want to use only piano, if you don't want it to sound purely retro, then go for it. I mean, there's a bunch of things that you can mess with. I mean, it has keyboards, it has guitars, and it has bass, and it has drums. Where are the drums at? See, where's the kick? And if you want, like, yeah, you can like freaking add a kick to your thing. Just go over here and switch down to kicks, and then like, I don't know. Here, I'll just play it and I'll do it for it. Yeah, sounds dope. Yeah, but just like mess around, figure out what you like to do on it. It's super fun. I mean, yeah. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. That's it. Bye. See ya.